Yeah, we're gonna jump to Pashut. I know that you're messing with us now.
I'm not
We're gonna wrap up. Wait, is that in Wayne's World? I don't know. But he's like, yeah, we're gonna. Anyway,
What's up,
Pashut,
everybody?
gonna say a few words for like 5 minutes. I'm gonna wrap up.
We gotta do a collabo, Yehuda.
All right. So
yeah,
Set it up.
I'm down, bro. Let's go.
Right.
Hit me up, bro. Hit me up. Hit me up.
All right, let's do it.
Beautiful songs. They just came in. But we know that these past few days, Shabbos and Shmini Atzeret, that we obviously all felt like they had the hardest day, most deaths since the Holocaust, and number wise, it's 2 times September 11th for like the population in America, and it was all Yidden, and it was a huge tragedy. And I think that we have to understand what is going on. Now, I fought in Tzuk and I can't fathom how it's possible. I can't fathom how it's possible that there was such a surprise attack, such a lack in preparation. It's almost unfeasible that such a thing could happen without some kind of they call it like a shituf pula. Now, I don't want to say anything too sure because we're still trying to figure out what's happening. But I say in one of my songs, I say, soon as we know who our enemy is, Mesidis Mediach Tzayid B'Fiv, sooner we'll sing Anavim, Higi Azman, Geulashem. I recently, before the war broke out, had a car stolen from me. And in the car, I had some irreplaceable objects, including my ukulele. And it was rough to deal with, to handle. But I was zeichet to come across a shtickle Torah on Tehillim, a medrash in Tehillim. The medrash asks, the pasuk says, Mizmor la'asaf, a song for Asaf, Elohim bo goyim ben achal asecha, the nations have entered your inheritance, or the inheritance that you gave. Timu es hechel kadshecha, they rendered the Beis HaMikdash impure. Samu es Yerushalayim liyim, and they made Jerusalem into ruins. And so the Gemara asks, Mizmor la'asaf? This is a song for Asaf? Kino la'asaf mi ba'ilei. Now, this is a medrash, it's also a Tosfos in Kedushin. That's where, really Jewish people know this from. Kino la'asaf mi ba'ilei, Lamed Aleph. It should be a lamentation for Asaf. What are you telling me? It's a song for Asaf. Answers the Gemara that it's a song. Why? Because Kila Kadosh Baruch Hu es chamaso, Hashem exhausted his anger al eitzim ve'avanim, on stones and wood, right? And he didn't destroy Am Yisrael. Excuse me. And I was thinking about this idea, and it was what I was grabbing onto to deal with the fact that my car was stolen with some objects inside. And it was tough. And then the war broke out. And I thought, it's not just Eitzim Ve'avanim anymore. This is really a very heavy loss for Am Yisrael. And I think that when we understand what's really happening, when we understand that, and I'm saying if, because we don't want to say anything too sure, but we're saying that if Israel knew about this attack and let this happen, because after all, they are part of the UN, which you know is an asset of the Vatican, and we know that we are in Galus Edom, and we're dealing with the Shibud Malchias. The Gemara says, Ein ben olam hazeh, there's no difference between nowadays and the Yemos Mashiach, Ela Shibud Malchias Bilvad, and it's the Roman Empire who was involved in the shadows for after, like they tell us in school, that the Roman Empire is destroyed with their education, and the Roman Empire is alive and well. And when the Nazis, Yimach Shemam, were the Third Reich, they were the Third Reich of the Roman Empire, and we have to just understand from that Nikuda. It's just something that we have to think about, and we have to know what's going on and who we're really fighting. Now, I learned to end off, Erez, thank you so much. To end off, I learned something amazing today that I would love to share. In that car that was stolen, I also had my Torah Tamima. Torah Tamima, it tells to all of the Gemaras, and I like to just learn and teach. We did Shachris this morning at Racham and Ruveni's property, and may there always be Torah learned there. And usually when I teach, I would take a Torah Tamima and just learn straight Gemaras. Litvish guy, yeshivish. But it was gone. It was stolen in the car. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to take one of these books that I have in my library that I never touch. And I took a Nesiva Shalom. And he said the most unbelievable thing. He said, so we know why the question, the famous question, why does the Torah start with Breishis? Why does the Torah start with Breishis? And so the answer that everyone knows that Rashi gives is to tell the Amim, Koach Ma'asav, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. It starts with the creation of the world. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. He gives it to whom he sees fit, and he takes it from whom he sees fit. And that's a famous Rashi, that we start the Torah from Breishis to let them know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave Eretz Yisrael to Am Yisrael, and he can do that because he's the creator of the world. The Nesiva Shalom asked a great question. He says, I understand that. That's why they taught Breishis. But what about the rest of the Sefer Breishis? All the stories of the Avos, all the stories of our forefathers. So the Nesiva Shalom said something to me that was so mechudishtik and so obvious. He actually quoted this from a Tachayim Vital, from an Arizal, said that that bad midos, why is it not one of the 613? Because it's a hakdama to all of the midos. My friend Shlomo Yaakov, when I told him over this shtickle, he says, Derech Eretz Kadma Torah. That's mamish the Inyan. And so we couldn't start getting the mitzvah. Rashi asked, why did it start by Chodesh Zelachem? Why did it start by the first mitzvah when we became a nation? And he says, Nesiva Shalom, in order to even begin to accept the Torah, we have to first be mitayar our midos. We have to purify our midos. And this is something that, I was always like taught, like, just what's the halacha? And I never really had a chance to focus on our midos. And today I had discussed to learn Chasidus and to teach Chasidus, something that Erez really represents whenever he wears a Rabbi Nachman shirt. And big shkayach for representing Rabbeinu. And I wanted to say in this chus of Chasidus and the importance of working on our midos, a lot of us are going to start realizing, if we didn't already start realizing, that something's up in the world. And when we start realizing it, it's going to be very important to just be chill, Don't let it mess with our midos and bring us into anger, bring us into, and again, there is a time, however, to be angry. And this current situation, and especially with what's really going on, I mean, the whole situation is absolutely like mind-numbing, like it can't be. And it's so horrible. And when we realize what's actually going on, and what's actually going on with the pandemic, by the way, but it's all connected. I'm not talking about Jefferson. I'm not talking about that, Erez, don't worry. I'm just saying we should be zochet to learn Torah, clarify our minds, and purify our midos. This is an idea that, for me, was such a unbelievable chiddush. And we know if it's a shas adchak like it is now, and if it's such a terrible time, all the Torah and the tefillah that we have is like, it's like learning Torah in Auschwitz. We haven't had a loss like this since Auschwitz, the days of Auschwitz. And so there's extra siyata d'shmaya for the Torah that we learn and the tefillah that we daven. And so we got to say also that there's extra siyata d'shmaya for tikkun hamidos. And so I would encourage everyone to chap arayin in this amazing time of Eitz Ratzon. And the Kadosh Baruch Hu will give us siyata d'shmaya that all of the oivim of Am Yisrael will be swallowed up into a pit like Kairach. The Erev Rav and the Shibud Malchias Yachtav.
Thank you so much. A little loud in the background here right now. But yeah, I love it's what everybody's been sharing. It's just exactly what we needed.